Hey guys, welcome again to the Gentlemen's Club. My name is Bisayo Baba Talkba, and it is nice to see you guys on this wonderful day. Yes, this is the Gentlemen's Club, like I said, here at OCAD Live. And today we're just going to be running through a new topic. And the topic today is the weight of weakness. The weight of weakness. So, one thing that I've been saying so often is that we as men tend to feel like there is an unusual burden that comes with having weakness, right? And there's this toxic masculinity that essentially is prevalent in society, right? And it just had me thinking like, what is it ingrained in us as men that feels so uh burdened by feeling weak, right? Because from my vantage point as a person who is a man of faith, the greatest thing to be able to understand as a human being is that we are flawed, intrinsically flawed, and we have circular patterns, even on a psychological level, that makes us act irrationally, even when we intend to act like a rational human beings. And I'm sorry if this is a little bit long-winded, but I just feel like there's something ingrained in us that is so scared to show weakness, like scared to be vulnerable, to have flaws, right? And I think as a society, we've lost that understanding that it's like, no, like you're a whole human being who's dynamic, who can be triggered on a minute by minute basis. So you're going to not always have the same energy, the same outlook. Like your emotions are fluid, is what I'm saying, right? So I'm really here to just knock at that mentality and say, no, it's okay to feel weak, right? Now you don't wallow in it. You don't sit in that weakness and be like, that's the lens that I'm going to govern my life through, right? And it's like, I wrote this down, like, men don't like talking about weakness because it feels dangerous. And like, if you admit it, the world might use it against you. But here is the paradox. The weight that you refuse to face is usually the weight you were born to carry, right? And this is just furthering on this topic of, weakness. Like, they rear themselves in weights that you ultimately have to walk through life with, right? Like, let's read that again. Like, this is the paradox. The weight you refuse to face is usually the weight you were born to carry. Weakness isn't a flaw in the design. It's a signal in the system, and it tells you where you still need refinement. Again, you are a flawed human being that has weaknesses. That does not cap at your strengths, right? So it's a two-sided thing, right? You have your strengths and you have your weaknesses or your flaws, right? Dynamically, these things come together to make you a person, a human being, right? Now, your strengths are your strengths, and they could be influenced by your socio-cultural environment, like where you grew up at, etc. Like certain things that your parents instilled in you. And your flaws can also rear their heads, even according to those patterns, in that Your parents might have neglected you emotionally, etc., or dropped the ball in some area of life. So it's like when you walk with this thing, this burden that weighs you down from seeing your strengths, it just leads you into a circular loop that causes you to self-loathe, like causes you to feel like you're not enough, and the truth is you never will be enough. Impossible. You know what I'm saying? So this is one of the things that I just wanted to knock out. So I'm just gonna continue reading some of the outlines that I have here. Weakness isn't a flaw in the design. It actually tells you where you still need refinement. Because every man has a limp, a part of himself that's been wounded, embarrassed, or left underdeveloped, right? Most of us try to hide it. We build armor around it, like with ego, humor, work, distraction, and we talked about this in the previous episodes. Anything to avoid looking directly at the sore spot, right? But what you hide festers, what you confront heals. Now, this is now getting to that point of confront your weaknesses. You don't need to hide them. Be vulnerable about them. I can tell you personally, and this is as a man of faith, I have struggles with lust. Absolutely. I have struggles with, addictions. Like, I have a highly addictive personality. But these things are the very things that equip you to be a dynamic human being and aid your strengths. It also makes you adept to realizing what you can do and what you can't do. Even when you think relationally. Like, you get to understand, I can't commit to certain things. I can't go certain places because I put boundaries. I know what my limits are. I know what my weaknesses are. And I know what my strengths are. Because make no mistake about it, I feel like one of the things that happens is we think our strengths can govern our boundaries. It's like, nah, I don't think my strengths can actually, play out in this dynamic or in this place. You know what I'm saying? So I just want us to be able to realize this. So let's keep it going. You can carry your weaknesses like a curse, or you can carry it like a calling. The difference is humility. And humility says that this hurts, but there must be meaning in it. There is meaning behind your weaknesses. There is meaning behind that door that you cannot kick down. There is meaning in the things that are out of your control, right? You control the things you can. What's your strengths? You get up, you keep it going, and you let nothing deter you from being the person that you were called to be. You see what I'm saying? So let's keep it going. When you stop despising your limitation and start studying it, it becomes a teacher. Weakness has a voice. It always says that you're not self-sufficient. And it's really an invitation to lean on grace, to seek wisdom, to reach to, if you're a man of faith like myself, to God rather than more control. Control without surrender is pride dressed as strength. But when you surrender your weaknesses to purpose, you open the door to divine power. It means that you don't have to pretend to be invincible. You have to be willing to be refined. You have to be willing to be refined. Be molded, be shaped into the person that, make no mistake about it, like, if you want to see that better version of yourself. That's not an unrealistic goal. The unrealistic goal is thinking that you're going to be a human being that is without flaws, that is infallible, that is not a dynamic person. So, this has been episode 3 of the Gentleman's Club. I'm just so excited to see you guys' growth, and thank OCADU Live for the opportunity to keep giving you these shows.